Okay, so in this video we will going to talk about objects, basically singleton. Okay, so whenever we talk about the singleton in Scala, we will be talking about the objects. So objects are obviously they are singleton. Okay, objects are Scala's replacement for the keyword static. So in Java we use static keyword. Okay, but here in Scala we use the objects. Okay, they are well defined for the factories. Okay, pattern matching that we're going to see later, and in that one we can define the default methods, main methods. Okay, if we are extending app, there is no need to implement the main method. So let's take an example. So let's say we have an object, okay, of my object, and what I'm doing is these are the book that you can refer. So if I'm calling val a is equal to my object, so in a we have the my object instance, which is 74235045, and let's say if I'm doing val b, okay, so in the val b also I'm getting the same object. So I'll say a is equal to b, okay, and a equal to b, which is true. So that means the objects are singleton. And if we want to create the multiple instance of that object, we need to create a class. Okay, so in the class we can have the multiple instances. So let's say if my object is there is an object my object, and I am defining one method foo, which is used doing the x plus y. Okay, and in the println I am calling the my object dot what foo. Okay, foo 5 comma 10, so it will give me result 15, which is doing the same. Okay, so why I was saying the static, because static was getting called from the class name. So my class name here is my object and my method is foo. Okay, so here I'll get the result as 15. Okay, similarly if I create a employee object and I'm creating 3 variables, first name, last name and the title, and I'm extending one object, okay, knuth. So I'm calling the first name, last name and the title. So this will give me the answer, Donald Knuth and programmer. So this object is defining its own state. Okay, because as we have this class employee, this will going to create the multiple instance of that employee. So class is nothing but a template to create the multiple instance, and every instance is in charge of its own state. Okay, and for the object, as I have said, it is a singleton. It needs a factory pattern. There we can implement that object. Okay, okay, so we were talking about the objects which needs a singleton. Okay, it needs a factory pattern logic that we're going to see later. So and apart from that, if you look at the Java mains method, so in the main method we need to define we can define anything. So that's the first method that is getting called. So similar way in the objects, so what we can do is we can create an object. Okay, we can either define the main method with the argument, okay, and it will going to run that, and also the other thing is we can extend the app. Okay, so we can extend the app in the object, and without defining main method we can print anything, okay, and execute anything. Today we will talk about the companion objects. So companion objects are those so this where the class name and the object names are same. Okay, class name and the object name are same, it's called the companion object, and they can access the private variable of both. Okay, so object can access the private variable of the class, and class can access the private variable of the object. Okay, so let's take an example. So let's say we have secret agent class, okay, with name, and I'm creating this object name with a secret agent. Okay, so the class name and the object name are same. Okay, and here I'm using b as int. I am creating a new method which is decrement bullet, okay, which is taking the count, and it will going to decrement the count from the 3000. Okay, so 3000 minus the number of decrement bullet that it's been received. If it is less than 0, then I'll give the b as 0. Okay, and I'm defining another method which is bullet, which return the b, okay, the remaining bullets. So I am importing the secret agent, so I'm ensuring that object and the class will reside on the same package. Okay, and I'm calling the object decrement bullet. So from the class I'm calling the object method decrement bullet. So if I call it, so in the secret agent runner I'm creating multiple secret agents, okay, James Bond, Felix and other few agents, and I'm calling the shoot method, okay, shoot method defined in the class. Okay, so I'm calling the create an object of the class and calling the shoot method. So this total are 1500, and 1500 minus 3000 will be answer the 1500 only. So answer will be 1500. Okay, now I will call the so earlier I was calling the class method, object method from the class. I'll call the object method, I'll call the class method from the object. Okay, this time I'll call the class method from the object. So I have a class person, object person, okay, and I'm calling the variable of the okay, so I'm calling the method from the object, okay, from the object in the class. Okay, so let's say we are creating a person method show me inner secret person, and I'm calling the class name from the object, class variable from the object. And here I am creating a new object, okay, extend app. That means I am calling the main method. So main method will going to have this clerk as a new person, and I am going to call the clerk dot person, okay, person dot show me inner secret, and then I'll pass the person, okay, and in that person I'll have the superhero name, and this is getting called. Okay, similar way, if I create a new employee object and add 4 variables, last is the hire date, and in that employee object I create the employee class. I'll create the employee object, okay, create employee, okay, and this will going to have new employee. This create method will going to have the new employee with the local date dot now as a hiring date, and I can call this I mean I can call the hire date without defining the parameter as the hire date. Okay, so if you see, I'm defining only 3 variables, 3 parameters, Ken, Thamsam and programmer, but I can call the hire object which is defined in the class. Okay.